Walk from town to town, city to city across America and back, a total of about 7,800 miles to raise funds to help military families who are in financial need. With this all-time record high of veteran suicide and all-time record high of veteran unemployment, I felt the need to do something big and to do it right now.
Troy, where in Connecticut are you today?
Well, you find me in Madison. I met up with some great people with the Connecticut Tea Party. Lots of people who are supporting our troops came out today, and it's really quite very nice political type of town with a lot of people who definitely support what I have been doing for the last 14 months.
Now, how many miles have you walked so far?
Over 6,500. Let me tell you, my ankles and knees feel every little bit of it.
And where did you start out?
I started out in Louisville, Kentucky on April 17th, 2010. Walked all the way north to Chicago, down to St. Louis, all the way to San Diego, all the way to New Orleans, now all the way up here in Connecticut. Of course, through my stop in Yocum, hit a lot of the major news networks. Things have really turned around for fundraising for us. We finally have pushed past raising over $500,000. We got lots of corporate sponsors on board who are collecting donations. So hopefully that we might reach $1.5 or $2 million by the time I hit the finish line in just about 2 months from now.
Where is the finish line?
The finish line is back to Louisville, Kentucky. So I know it sounds crazy, but I walked all the way across America, touched one ocean, and now have made the turn walking all the way back, and I should be touching the Atlantic Ocean on July 4th before I make another turn west and head back to Louisville, Kentucky.
How can people make a donation?
Well, you can learn all about the Hike for Our Heroes by going to hikeforourheroes.com. You can make a donation there. PayPal, online credit card. You can mail in checks for people who don't like to do it online. And you can go to any Modell Sporting Goods or Party City locations and make donations right now.
Troy, you served when in Iraq? What was the time frame again?
In Basra, Iraq, doing convoy escort missions, and then, of course, put this together in my last few months of being deployed and implement it as soon as I got home.
What's it been like walking across the country? What have you learned? Who have you met? Give us some background.
I think I've learned a lot this year. I've learned try not to make anybody mad because obviously they're going to go and blog about you later. Lots of lessons on just how big the problem is for military families. I had this idea in my head about how big the problem was. Knowing that we had this all-time record high of veteran suicides and unemployment and homelessness, the problem was really big. But what I didn't expect is to constantly see it on a daily basis. I thought I'd only see homeless people in the major cities, and that's just not true. We are seeing so many veterans who are unemployed, and it used to be a thing in World War II. Veterans would get hired because it was just a patriotic thing to do. Nowadays, there's lots and lots of veterans who are struggling to find work, and the reason why so many of them are having financial difficulties, and I truly believe the number one reason why we're having such high record of suicide.
Well, why are they having trouble finding work?
I think that the employers out there know so much about post-traumatic stress disorder, and the fact that we have, on a national level, an all-time high for unemployment, those are two big key factors. My job, I find, is a little bit difficult to get into the hearts and minds of employers across America and stress to them that we have to put these guys and women who are in uniform to work once they return home from Iraq. Yes, there is post-traumatic stress disorder, and yes, there's this all-time record high of veteran suicide, but we can help stop these issues by putting them in good-paying jobs.
Troy, this is just fantastic what you're doing, and it pains me to hear you talking about how our veterans are not being treated with the respect that they deserve. The veterans, the veteran, has protected our freedom, Troy.
That is a thing that a lot of my brothers and sisters constantly talk about. look at the sacrifices that the veterans and a lot of people don't realize of the entire military family. They go through so much while their husband or father, mother is being deployed. It's a big deal for their family. We don't know how far out is this spider web for suicide among the other family. We had just walked in honor of a fallen soldier killed in action a couple of years ago. We walked and met his family. A year after he was killed in action, his sister committed suicide.
Wow.
So I'm seeing so many of these families that are going through such hard times. The government needs to stand up and do something important now to help these families through their hard times. The president announces that we're going to withdraw 10,000 more troops.
Hey, Troy, you know what? I wish I had more time. Troy, could you do me a favor and hold on for a minute?
Sure thing.
Oh, great. Back in just a moment. Here, I just disconnected Troy. Hopefully he'll call back.